In today's video, we're going to look at my complete guide on how to make an 808 bass in Serum. We're going to split this video into 4 sections. We're going to look at the oscillators, then we're going to look at the envelopes, then we're going to look at the filters, and then finally we're going to look at the post-processing. Once we've done all that, we'll have a little play with it afterwards, and I'll show you how you can come up with unique sounds really easily. Let's get straight into it. So let's start with an initialized patch, and we're going to look at the oscillator A first. So let's pick analog BD sine, and then let's bump it down to -2 octaves. So we get this sound, basically just a sub. Now let's look at the phasing and turn this all the way off, and the rand all the way off as well. And then what we can do is turn this bend feature on and just turn this up, just to make the sound more predominant. And that's all we're going to do for the oscillator A for now, just something basic which we can come back later and play around with. So now let's look at section 2, which is the envelope. So because this is an 808 sound and it's quite fast, we want to use the envelope section over the LFO section. So I'm just going to turn the attack up slightly, and that's just going to stop any unnecessary clicking. And now the decay is really personal choice, so you can just change it there for now, and I might change that later. And then the sustain is going to be brought all the way down, so we get this fast to slow sound. And then the release can be adjusted later to stop any clicking as well. So that's the basis of your sound. Now we need to give it the oomph it needs for it to sound like an 808, and we're going to do that through filtering and noise effects. So let's turn on filter, first filter. This is going to go through oscillator A to begin with, and if we turn on oscillator B later, we want to turn this on. And we can also turn this feature on here. Now let's turn the cutoff down and add envelope 1 to it. So that's not really doing much, but we can then change the cutoff amount here, something like this for now. And now let's bump up the drive. And then we start to get our 808 sound. Now let's make some other adjustments, like turning the FAT up and the res up a little bit. And we're starting to get the 808 gritty sound. So let's see what else we can do. Let's look at the noise level, which I'm going to class as another filter. And let's apply envelope 1 to the level again. So that's just going to give it some grit. Now feel free to have a look through these and pick any ones you like. For example, that one's quite nice. And now let's apply the last filter, which is going to be in the effects tab here. So we're going to keep it on MG low 6. We're going to turn the cutoff down and then apply the envelope to it. And then what we're going to want to do is increase the drive and the FAT again. And there we have our massive 808 sounding bass. Now if you listen to it carefully, it sounds good, but it feels like there's like some mid to high range missing on it. So it feels like it wouldn't really punch through the mix very much. And that's where post-processing comes in. Now feel free to experiment with some of these, like you could add some distortion. And that adds some grit to it, or you could add some compression. That sounds pretty cool. And then there's also an alternative option. So if we put this onto a channel, and on this channel we've got a decimal on the action moving setting, and we've got an EQ just bumping some of the sounds. And now if we listen to it with that applied, it sounds like this. There's also a Pro L on just boosting some of the sounds. It sounds massive. So listen to it now. And you just get that gritty 808 sounding bass. And this is with all the effects. So you see how I'm just developing loads of different sounds here, just by adding and taking away different things. So let's have a look how we can make the sound even cooler. So let's turn on Oscillator B, and then let's turn on the filter here so it goes through. And now if we just listen to it, we get some cool sounds. And then we can pick a random oscillator. We can like change this. And if we turn this off, and then you can just literally experiment with lots of different things. See how I'm just randomly experimenting with different things. And then also you can experiment with the envelope. So I could have it like this. So if we play it with some drums, or like this, or like this, and then add like a chorus, some hyper dimension, and literally the sounds you can make are endless. So follow along the first 3 steps and then go crazy and see what sounds you can come up with. And if you make anything really cool, let me know in the comments below or send me a video on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Thank you all for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like, it helps out a ton. And if you'd like to check out loads of sample packs and presets on my website, there's a link in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.